The ninth and penultimate leg of the 2015 WTS Series landed in Edmonton, venue for last year's grand final. The River Valley formed the backdrop for the sprint distance race in wet, chilly conditions. Great Britain's Vicky Holland was in search of a second victory of the year after winning in Cape Town, but the main concern before the race was how to keep warm. The wetsuit swim over 750 metres saw a large field enter the water for one lap of the lake, and it was no surprise to see Spain's Carolina Routier setting the early pace, but the rest of the field stayed right behind her all the way. As they made it back to land, Routier was first out, with a steady stream of athletes right behind her. The short swim meant that a lead group of 15 were into transition and out onto the 20-kilometre bike. Holland had an excellent swim and was soon helping set the pace in the lead group, with the cold weather seemingly not affecting the athletes. A group of 5 made a breakaway, but the rest weren't too far behind. 2013 world champion Non Stanford was leading the chasers as they looked to reduce the deficit built up by the lead group. Bermuda's Flora Duffy, always a strong swim biker, was among the leaders, as was Holland and 2 Aussies, Gillian Backhouse and Emma Moffat. It was Australia's Backhouse that led them into transition for the second time and off onto the 5k run. The tough conditions meant some of the women struggled in transition, but the main players managed to avoid incurring any penalties as they made it onto the 3-lap run course. Duffy, who'd made it onto the podium for her first WTS medal in Abu Dhabi earlier this year, was looking strong alongside Holland. But Holland proved too strong though, and as the race wore on, began to stretch her advantage at the front. Duffy was keeping an even pace, but hadn't got the kick to match Holland. Australia's Backhouse had run herself into 3rd spot. And that's how it stayed. A smiling Holland took the adulation of the crowd as she crossed the line in 1st to seal her 2nd WTS win of the year. Duffy came through in 2nd to secure her best WTS finish so far, and Backhouse took bronze as she made the podium for the first time in a World Triathlon Series race. Holland took gold and moved herself up to 5th place in the World Series rankings as the 3 shivered through the national anthem and presentations on the podium and enjoyed the traditional champagne celebration.
Please rise for the playing of the national anthem of Great Britain. And now for the champagne to be shared. Congratulations to all the winners.
It was really tough conditions out there today, and I think it was a case of survival of the strongest in the cold conditions, and I had a really good swim which set me up for the rest of the race and meant I didn't have to chase on the bike. Kept working hard just to try and keep myself warm. Had a few problems in T2 getting the shoes on and the helmet off, but once I got going I felt okay on the run and just wanted to give myself as good a session today, a training session as much as a race for Chicago.